All right, how's everyone doing? This is your man, Matthew Brock, aka Bullet Brack, with the Real Jersey King podcast. I have a special guest, a very special guest today, Mr. Austin Byler from Major League University, from the internet, from real life to sitting right here in a beautiful background where it looks very sunny and warm right now. I'll take you're in Arizona, right?
Yes, sir. Out in Arizona, man. We got the sunshine, the pools kind of dripping down. So it's almost like you're on the ocean without the ocean. It's kind of
Oh,
nice.
yeah, there you go. Brag a little bit more. Appreciate you, man. No, we're in Florida right now. So I've been out there. I lived in Phoenix for like a year and a half when I made music. We were just talking about it and everything like that. And one thing that I will tell anybody, and you can probably vouch for me, when people tell you that Arizona heat's just not as bad because without the humidity, turn your oven on low, 125 degrees, open it up, stick your face in front of it for about 12 hours, and then tell me how you feel about that. Would I be correct on that, sir?
You're spot on, man. 100% all day.
I'm in. I'm in. So look, let's start this off. Of course, we're going to talk about jerseys and everything else, but I found you on the internet, and there's a lot of people we can find on the internet, but there's certain people that stick with me. Shout out to Danny Bryant. He's a good friend of mine. He runs Positive Energy Always in Manhattan in New York. It's an outreach for a lot of basketball players, kids that aspire to be basketball players from Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn. A lot of people that in our culture will say that, you know, they just need a hand up, not a handout. And once again, big shout out to Danny. He always installed that in me in my music career that you give people hand ups, not handouts. You help those that help themselves. So, you know, we're going to talk about Major League University. I see what you do every day. Sometimes even when I'm upset, I look at your page to get, you know, some inspiration like you put today. Like you never know how much you might help someone just by helping them. And I always keep that philosophy. My grandfather was an immigrant from Greece, came over, fought in World War II. And all the people, when we would walk when I was a kid, he would give money to people on the street. And people would always make fun of him and say, Pete, why you give away your hard-earned money? He said, because you never know when you're going to be in that situation. You might be today, you might be tomorrow, you might never be. But, you know, always do the right thing. So once again, we're going to applaud you on that, man, because a lot of people don't do that. So I want to start this one off. I'm going to give you 3 different numbers, and I want to get your response on that. So we're going to say 2015, 11, 316. What do those numbers mean to you?
Iconic. Iconic. It was a dream come true, man. I think just for me, growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, we had tickets, season tickets when I was younger, right when the D-backs first started, really when they broke into the league, and got to grow up watching Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, the Bloody Sock, and all the awesome experiences that we got to see. 2001 World Series facing the Yankees, and I was a Yankees fan, and we were facing obviously the D-backs Yankees, and they walk it off in the 7th inning or the 7th game of the World Series and end up winning their first World Series ever. And it was just an awesome experience, man, a surreal experience. I'll never forget. I'm walking down the stairs with my laundry because I was expecting to go the day before, and I didn't know really what to expect with this. And so I'm walking down the stairs with my laundry. I'm back home with mom and pops, and they're sitting down on their recliners watching the first this day of the draft and the first few picks. And my dad goes, "Oh no!" I'm like, "What do you mean, Dad? What? No?" He's like, "The Red Sox drafted you." I'm like, "The Red Sox? Well, that's kind of sick. Like, go Fenway Park, get to go out there, like pretty cool environment." And he's like, "Wait, it was the Diamondbacks." I'm like, "Let's go!" And the whole house erupted. We had everybody over a couple days later to just celebrate, man. And that was truly a blessing to be able to go and play for the hometown team and get that opportunity, right? It's been your dream for so long. As a young kid, you've worked 15, 20, 25 years, some guys, just to make that dream come true or potentially have it come true. And for that dream to come true and be able to get into the organization and start working was an absolute dream come true, man. So big time blessing for sure. I say it's iconic just because I had the old Randy Johnson jerseys and Luis Gonzalez jerseys back in the day, if we're talking jerseys. And it was just cool to see that opportunity come to fruition.
That's awesome, man. Because, you know, a lot of people I know in my circle, we talk a lot about, especially professional sports and the major mega contracts. And it's good that you touched on that 15 to 20 some years of hard work, because people really don't understand that. People don't understand that from when you're 8 years old, you sacrifice everything, birthday parties, things you want to do, hanging out with friends, playing video games, all that. That's gone. If you want to be the top of the top and what rises to the, you know, the, as Macho Man would say, the cream that rises to the top, you got to put that work in all the way. So salute to you about that. And that's awesome, man. And it is iconic. You should always feel that. Mark Grace, man, was one of the best. I love that jersey, man. That was amazing. I actually got a Clay Buchholz jersey I bought from Arizona. I've been to every single ballpark. So I would pick up a jersey from every ballpark, and Clay was happening to sign autographs. I seen it, had to scoop it right up, man. The eggshell color one with the pinstripe. God almighty. So here's another thing, man. The 2015 draft. I mean, you came out with a lot of good people. Benintendi, Alex Swanson, you came out with Iron Hat. I mean, to me, Kevin Newman, I'm a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. I mean, but you came out with a lot of good talent, man, a lot of good talent. Let me ask you, is it really the minor leagues, right? We all hear about that. No one gets paid per diem and everything like that. Was it a struggle for you? Was it really tough though? I mean, you might have had a great, support system, but I'm just saying, like, being in that position, playing your life out, balling out every day, and really have nothing to show for it, per se. Is it really as bad as a lot of people say? And I don't want to put you in a trick bag or nothing like that. I don't want to have you offend anybody, but a lot of people do want to know. A lot of people see it and say, McDonald's workers get paid more than minor league ball players when other cats are making 35 million a year. Can you talk on that a little bit?
You're spot on, man. You're spot on. And we're all open book here, man, full honesty and vulnerability. And to be honest, it sucked. I remember one of the guys, he was Shelly Duncan. He was with the Yankees for a little bit. His pops was a pitching coach with the Cardinals for a while. Brother played for a while. And he was my manager one of the years. And I remember we had this massive meeting, I guess like the minor league meeting to celebrate the year. A couple of teams won championships. Everybody's together in one place. So you got first prospect down to the very last dude on the roster and depth chart. And he gets the mic and says, the kind of smile, looks around with a big old smile and says, "Embrace the suck." And we're like, what the heck? He's like, that's what the minor leagues is about. And so for us, I had no clue, man. In college, you almost get pampered a little bit because you're big man on campus, right? You kind of have a little, you can say a quick glimpse of stardom, depending on where you go to school and in the university that you're at. A lot of people know who you are, right? And a lot of people in the community back your program, right? Ideally, they back your program and they're all in on it. It's almost like a mini big leagues for you. And so going from college where you've got everything handed to you in a way, you've earned it, right? You've earned it, but you're getting more opportunities. You're investing in the communities. Everything looks awesome. To getting into professional baseball in the minor leagues where you're just another number. You're just another piece of meat to them. I'll never forget that experience because it taught me a lot, right? And that's why we do what we do today, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But it was a mental toll. It was a mental grind. I mean, you're going through 15, 20 games in a row without an off day with multiple bus trips. You're going all over the country and you're not getting any sleep. You're sleeping in bodunk hotels that have bed bugs and blood on the towels. And like, there were some nasty experiences, right, that we went through just that we sacrificed to get to the big league. So everybody sees the call-up day. Everybody sees the list of the major leaguers. Everyone sees the mega contracts and all the awesome things on social media and sweet pictures and stuff, but they don't see the grind that a lot of these guys went through. They don't see the guy who's got a wife and 2 kids back home and hasn't seen their family in 4 months, or the guy who's in major leagues right now who, because of COVID and the rules that they have in the majors, can't even sleep with their own wife. Like, think about that. So there's a lot of things that go into this deal. And for you look at it and at first you get a little bitter because you see guys who are making millions and millions of dollars and you're like, dude, if you just gave us $1 million, you would get each person on our minor league system another like $1,000 a month. And you hit it on the head with the McDonald's workers, right? Making more money than any minor leaguers ever do. And so I think they're starting to make some changes for it. Obviously with COVID, they've kind of like skimpered down a little bit and minimized the amount of teams, unfortunately, but that could come with more of an impact for the guys. But it was a grind, man, but it teaches you a lot about life. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to be successful? What are you willing to sacrifice? How do you push through things that you might not agree with or like or enjoy at certain times? So it was a big time eye opener to me. It wasn't what I imagined professional sports being, but when you're back at spring training and you're in the system and you're doing your thing, it makes it all worth it. So definitely a challenging time, but a lot of guys are working odd jobs throughout the off season. I was working at Orange Theory Fitness, being a fitness instructor, coaching up the moms, man. It was a lot of fun, but it was challenging, right? Because you think like, I should be training, but now I've got to work a job just to get in good shape, just to have the ability to go train, to come back next year and be okay financially when you're in that type of a system. So it's definitely a challenge, man, for sure, but it really tests you mentally and physically and spiritually as well. Like, hey, where's your faith at and what are you willing to commit to and sacrifice to make your dream come true every single day?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you look at all sports involved, baseball is probably one of the most mental games there is. So to have to go and work a job, deal with everyday problems, and then go out there and try to perform at a top tier level, man, it's crazy. I also I have a really good friend of mine, Doc V, Al Vantes. He works with a lot of soldiers coming back, PTSD and everything like that. But I'm definitely going to bring you on. We're going to have a segment about the mental preparedness and the mental anguish that kids go through, especially with social media nowadays and everything like that. Like, I'm pretty sure you saw this kid. I don't know if you saw it yet, but there's no way you haven't. He's on the internet. He hit a home run and like threw the bat and everything like that. Did you see it? And it's like, it's just crazy, man. It's like people will jump all over you, not even knowing like this kid's last game is, I mean, just magnitude of things that are tied into it and everything like that. But it's good to see your persistence and your attitude and your determination. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't have that, but it's good to see that you do. And that's going to lead us to our next Major League University, man. And I've seen that you guys do a lot of leadership classes, courses and stuff like that. You also do clinics. You also do a lot of things out in Arizona. Can you like tell me about that? Because it is very big to have someone like you, where you came from, you know, playing in Arizona, getting drafted by the home team, you know, everything like that, to kids that really come out there, and a lot of kids that play travel ball and really have no, how can we say, destination in the end. They have no light at the end of the tunnel. They're just doing their thing. So, you know, with you coming out and being what you are, a beacon of light for a lot of people that have no clue what's going on, it's a great thing to see. So, you know, Major League University, I'm going to keep plugging the thing. Can you please, you know, elaborate on that? Tell us about that. What started it? Why you started it? You know, and where you're going. Are you guys looking for funders? You looking for donations? You just let's talk about it. I'd like to hear it from you. You know.
Absolutely, man. Any funding or donations would be greatly accepted by the squad. I mean, that's for sure. But how it started was, I remember being in 2015 after I got drafted. I killed it my first year. Set a couple records. I dominated. I was an all-star. We ended up winning the championship that year, and I was like, man, I'm on the fast track to the big league, man. Like, let's go. Like,
I saw all that. I was gonna plug you too, but I was like, I don't know. Let me let you do it. So you did a great job. You're like my co-host right now, baby.
Hey, let's go. We might have to just start partnering up on these, man.
I love it. I love it.
But when that happened, I was like, man, I've got everything right in front of me. Top 20 prospect. Like, I am feeling it, right? Like, things are going really well. And so I go back into the off season, and then off season and pro league, they have a thing called Instructs. It's called Instructional League. So they'll invite the top 20, 25 prospects back to the spring training complex to go play the other teams locally for about 3 to 4 weeks. And it was about halfway through, and I'll never forget this, right? It was an insane experience for me. And about halfway through that Instructs, I was crushing it. Right? I was dominating. I just had a 4-for-4 day. Unfortunately, missed a ball right off my glove, and we tied the game. But nobody cares about that. We did good. So I get back from the Cincinnati Reds complex. We get back to the Arizona Diamondbacks complex, and I remember the third base coach for the Diamondbacks, Tony Paraschica, standing outside the door, to like holding the door open for us. He's got his glasses down. He's got his clipboard, and everybody's walking in. And as I start to walk in, he says, "Byler, can you meet me in my office real quick?" And I'm like, oh man, it's either really good, I'm playing well, like
I'm coming up, or I'm getting cut, baby. One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two, right? And so I go in there, and the GM of the team, or I think it was GM of scouting at the time, was Mike Bell. He recently passed away, unfortunately, super young age. But him and Tony Paraschica are sitting in the office, right? And I go in there and I sit down, and I'm like, man, this is really nerve-wracking, right? And so he goes, look, Byler, we're sorry to inform you, but you failed a drug test. You're going to miss the first 50 games of next year. And you could just see my heart sink out of my body, dude. I'm like, I didn't know. I was in a total shock. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And so when that moment happened, I had to call my mom, my girlfriend at the time, my head coach from college, all the people that truly meant a lot to me and have supported me throughout the journey and been that support group, like you mentioned earlier. And when this happened, I went into this mental spiral, man. I was masking my pain for a while, for about 3 or 4 years up into this point, but I was having success on the field, so I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, man, I'll just keep doing this, right? All good. I'm all good. And then once that moment happened, it was this downward spiral into the bottom of the depths of the ocean, man. I just felt like I was trapped. Like, anytime somebody called my phone, any buzzing or vibration or anything, I freaked out because I thought it was the MLB calling me. I had no foundation, no set of skills or tools. And so for the next 2 or 3 years, as I kept playing, like, I could not figure it out mentally. I was such a head case with everything that was going on because I lost the passion. I lost the passion for what I got to do and the opportunity that I had. So from that experience in 2018, speed up a couple of years, I ended up getting released in spring training, and I was having a great spring training. I kind of changed my life around that off season, thankfully, and stopped doing the old things and turned a new page. And I was progressing on this personal development path. And I was happier than I've ever been. I'm like, man, this is awesome. Why didn't I do this in college and pro ball? I'd be in the big leagues. And so for those different experiences, got released, went to independent ball, and I was fortunately on a team with a college roommate of mine. And it was a crazy experience. So we were roommates at this indie ball team, and we were there for about a month. And so we're talking, and we're like, dude, we got to, like, there's a lot of people struggling with mental health in sports. And there's a lot of people struggling with mental health in life. Like, let's go start an app, or let's do something like a meditation center, or like all these different things that we wanted to do for people. And then we're like, man, what if we did something for athletes? Like, there's not a lot of people doing stuff for athletes. Mental skills wasn't big at the time. Like, there's not a lot going on for them. There's not a lot of help. And so that's when we started in September of 2018, Major League University. And at that time, we had no clue where we were going with it. But it kind of evolved, and think about life is all about choices. And what are you going to do with the opportunities that you do get? An old friend, an old coach said, hey, Byler, come up to our university. He's coaching at University of Puget Sound. He said, our team is struggling with believing in themselves. They don't believe that they can win. They don't believe they can play at the next level, or that they can compete, or any of this. Come in for 3 days, do a workshop with our team, and see if you enjoy it. I'm like, no way, dude. I don't belong there. I don't know anything. And I went and I did it. And it was the best 3 days of my life. I'm like, man, this is freaking amazing. We're dominating it. Guys are listening. They're taking aptitude to it, and they're growing and learning and breaking out of their shells. And so from that day on, in 2019, of January, at that point, said, hey, we got to get out and go to every school that we can, go to every organization. Now we're turning to business, like everywhere that we can, to help athletes truly find a good foundation of skills and tools that they can turn to when things might not go their way. That's and fantastic. In a life that's very reactive, man, there's so much going on. Like, how can we just slow down and become one with ourselves, and just be a little more confident in life?
Well, I mean, that's really what it's all boiled down. And thank goodness for January 2019. I mean, I hate that it came that way, but the ends justify the means. So, to turn that, you turned your life around, I think that's probably better than hitting a walk-off home run in your parents' eyes and your own eyes and everything like that. So that's a great thing. We're a great ball player too. I definitely watched a lot of you after we started talking about a month or so ago. So good for you, man. Good for you and everything like that. So where are you guys based at right now? I know it's Arizona, but Arizona is a big state. So are you guys in Phoenix, right outside of Phoenix?
Yeah, about North Phoenix, Peoria. So kind of North Phoenix, Northwest.
I lived
Phoenix.
Out there, baby. I was out there by Temple. I was on Camelback and everything like that, man.
Let's go.
Arizona State University. I'm not going to get into I'm a married man now. I'm not going to get into all that, but it was definitely, I'm not admitting anything by any means. I'm just saying it's definitely a very, very crazy thing. So I'm also looking, we're going to get back to Major League University. I want to talk to you too about your book, The Blueprint for Success. And it sounds like you have the blueprint. I mean, that's a great KRS-One album as well. I just want to plug that. I'm a hip hop guy. But tell me some more about the book and everything like that. It is available now. Can you please let us know where you can get it at? And so do you take clips out of the book daily, or do you add clips to the book daily? See where I went with that? So are you adding to it daily? And you guys got to go check out Mr. Austin's Instagram and his Twitter page and everything like that. It's very, very inspirational. It'll make you feel good, and it'll make you want to help somebody else. So let's talk about the blueprint for success.
I appreciate that, man. I really do. And so with the blueprint, it's basically you're diving into it daily. So it's meant for you to go into every single day and just have your own little performance journal, something that you can kind of step through and give yourself a set of tools that can help prepare yourself for that day or whatever experiences. I got the dogs now coming. They're coming.
So everyone wants to be part of the New Jersey King podcast with Mr. Awesome, man. I'm not mad at it, man. Poor guest, man.
So with the blueprint, though, it's something that you open up every single day that you're able to go into and kind of chart your progress and chart your success, your goals, some of the things that you might be going through. There's gratitude on there, your mission for the day. What do I want to accomplish? And then some affirmations to reaffirm who you are as a person, and to really just become one with yourself in that situation. So for athletes, we notice that most of sports is mental, right? Everybody says it, but not very many people practice it. So our goal with this is, hey, we'll give it to an athlete or a coach or a program, and hey, you dive into this daily. You get your 3 to 5 minutes of mental practice in. Like, dive in, chart it out. And what we found is when you write things down, it's 10 times more powerful than if you don't write it down at all. So if you're writing down gratitude, writing down affirmations, writing down things about like what you want to accomplish, your goals, how the game even went, you are more likely to have continued success. So that's where we kind of came up with the blueprint for success. And then the first part of it is almost like it's the actual blueprint. And we'll take a team through that exercise and say, hey, what's my why? Like, what are the standards that I'm willing to commit to for my life? What are the core values that I truly like live by? And as an athlete, whether you're high school or college, it's hard, right? It's hard to even know who you really are, but to give them an idea of what is your vision for your life and your career, what do you want to accomplish when you're done with sports or through sports, that you can go out and make an impact in the world. And so that's kind of where we're going with the blueprint for success. You can find it on majorleagueuniversity.com or any of our social media platforms. Major League University is kind of doing a special pre-order. We got 150 copies total. I'd say about 80 to 90 are spoken for. So we got about 50, 60 left. And once we get through with that, we're hitting the pre-order again, man. We're getting some more coming in, and we'll be able to ship those out ASAP.
No, good. I know I'm going to go. I got a good friend of mine that coaches Rundle High School baseball team out in Maryland. I mean, they're doing great. They're tearing up everything. I'm definitely going to get with you. I got to order some and send them off to him. And definitely as a testament to my belief into you and everything like that. I've always taught, I'm Greek, man. So we're worse than anybody when it comes to money. But I was always taught to put your money where your mouth is. And if you believe in someone, you support someone. So I'm definitely going to get with you with that. We're going to order a couple and send them out.
Huge.
Man, you're great, man. I mean, I feel like you got a lot of the good things coming towards you. A lot of things probably already came towards your way, and it's good that you pay it forward and you pay it back. Let me ask you this question. I'm personally a huge Roberto Clemente fan, man. I've been to Puerto Rico. I went to, I don't really get into what I've done, but trust me, man, I've traveled the world and paid back and done what I was supposed to do. I visited a couple of orphanages in Puerto Rico, and on December 31st, when Mr. Clemente died, his anniversary and everything like that. I'd say all that to say this is, one, if I could give out a Roberto Clemente yearly award, you would have one sitting on your dresser. I talked to a good friend of mine, Danny Torres, who he does the Talking 21 podcast. It's all about Clemente, and he's very high on you too. I'm going to connect you guys later, but the question, I say all this to bring you back around the block: who was your inspiration? Or was it just life being your inspiration? Or did someone, after everything, could have been a bum on the street, did someone just sit you down and say, hey man, listen, let me tell you about yourself on this note. Don't give up, get greater, So did you have an inspiration that really just sat you down, grabbed you by the back of your neck and set you straight, but in a great way though?
Absolutely. I think there was a couple people that stick out to me. I think first, when I was younger, it was obviously my mom and dad. My mom was huge with inspiration, with vision boards, with believing in yourself, with setting a vision and tackling that vision and going out there and being relentless, right? Relentless pursuit and fearless, because she started her own business and ran it for 25 years and dominated. Now she's shifting with COVID and doing new things. So she's always been a big time inspiration for me. I think outside of family though, a guy by the name of Aaron Nielsen, he's like the undercover Tony Robbins, right? Like if he wanted to be on social media and kill it, he could, but he doesn't, right? He kind of does everything in silence and does it behind the scenes, which is the biggest thing that I respect about him. But I remember my freshman year of college, I went out to a summer ball league, and it was in Southern Oregon, Klamath Falls, Oregon, real small town. And he was one of my coaches, and I was struggling with the mental side, right? I had no clue what I was trying to do. I just had so many thoughts going on. I was really angry when I get out and didn't succeed. And my value was found in sports, not who I was. And when he sat me down, he got me reading good books. He got me meditating. He got me working out more. He got me doing all these different things that were a little outside the box and different for me at the time, which truly helped me think differently. And he's been one of my biggest mentors ever since. I talk to him regularly and just pick his brain. Everything he tells me, I give out to everybody else that I get to talk to, right? And so one of his biggest things is keep showing up. Like, as simple as it is, simplicity is key, but keep showing up. You never know what can happen if you just show up and present yourself. You don't have to do anything special, right? Just be yourself and show up. So he really kind of sat me down and helped me get the priorities straight early. Then I kind of veered, right? It's almost like mom says something and you say, nah, I'm not going to listen to you, mom. And then you realize mom's probably right or dad's probably right when they talk to you. But for him, man, it was such an inspiration for me. I just see how he acts with his family, as a husband, as a father, as a dude in society who sometimes, like, it's just challenging for sometimes, right? For him to be able to just impact people, take them under their wings, go to different countries, similar to what you're doing, going to orphanages and getting kids outside playing. I mean, he goes to Honduras every year, no shoes, nobody's got shoes or even clothes half the time, but they play imaginary baseball. They didn't even have a baseball, and they played a full 3 hours of baseball with no ball. Like, that's how amazing this dude is. And just to be an ounce of what he's like, man, that's been a huge inspiration. So that guy's definitely been a dude who's really inspired me and helped keep me on track and really just give me some good things to think about every single day.
That's awesome, man. And I'm pretty sure he's inspired by you, just knowing that it's not a soundboard or a sponge. It's something that just bounces off and goes to the next or whatever. It's just verbatim. You probably take it, spin it in your own way, put it in your own personal situations and struggles. So that's a great thing, man. And good for him too, man. Tell him keep up the good work and all of us don't need to be seen. All of us don't need to be heard. At the end of the day, you're one of his disciples. So just keep on carrying the book, keep on taking it and everything like that. So that's great, man. And shout out to Mom Dukes, man. Moms are the best, man. Happy late Mother's Day to her as well. So let me ask you this. You're a baseball guy. I'm a baseball guy. I'm rocking the Mitchell and Ness, Mr. Henry Aaron. This is the 1957, excuse me, Milwaukee Braves when he came up. Shout out to Mr. Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro League Baseball Museum out in Kansas City. If you haven't been there either, you need to go there. That's something that'll give you a deep breath and just be like you said, all these great ball players from Josh Gibson to Satchel Paige to there's just numerous. Cool Papa Bell, we can name them all. But to what these ball players went through to seeing what these kids are going through now, maybe not be nowhere near the same, but the connection that I'm making is just the mental anguish, the being beat down every day. So for someone like yourself that's been through the ringer, I know a bunch of ball players that's been through the ringer, and you know what they did? They turned their back all the way on baseball. They don't want nothing to do with it no more. They feel shame. They feel this, that, and the third, but you learned a lesson and you're passing it on. That's great. I need to ask you this. Your favorite baseball jersey, home, away, alternative, it doesn't matter. Off the top of your head, I need to know. You said you're a Yankees guy, so I don't know. Maybe that might be it. I don't know, but what's your favorite jersey? If you're going out and I call you, right? I say, Austin, man, what's up, man? I'm in LA. You say, oh, Brock, I'm in LA too. That's fantastic. I'm going out to a party. It's all about baseball jerseys. I need you to come. I'm on my way to pick you up right now. What are you going to the closet for?
First thing that comes to mind, Alex Rodriguez, Yankee pinstripe.
There we go. The A-Rod is classic. The A-Rod is classic. The 13, especially the pinstripe with the patch on the side, I have to give that to you. That is definitely dope. Now, for you, which one of your jerseys that you wore on your back while you were on the diamond is your favorite?
Ooh. I would say
I'm talking high school. I'm talking pony ball. I'm talking little league. It don't matter. You can say, Brock, I hit my first home run and it busted out my dad's back windshield with this one, but this is my guy right here. This is what I wear, and it's a size small, and I'm wearing it to the party with you, knowing I should be wearing a large, and I'll stand right by you, Mr. Austin.
Yeah, let's go. Gotta let him rip, baby. Gotta let him rip. I would say it goes between two. It goes between two, and this would be a tough one. My time in Nevada, University of Nevada, was amazing. And I loved the jerseys. We actually had some pinstripe ones as well that I really enjoyed wearing. But honestly, going back into the closet, right? I'd say it was my 12 to 14 and under travel ball Glendale Gauchos jerseys, man. Red and white.
Yeah, shout out to Glendale, man.
So clean. Like, it was just the best jersey. We had the patch on the side, the cool little Gaucho face. It was dirty. It was red and black, so it was kind of hard, right? It just really stuck out, and I loved those jerseys. I don't know why, but they were some of my favorite jerseys, and so I've been spoiled. Man, our high school team had like 6 jerseys, so we loved them, and we had a really, I was very grateful for my childhood growing up through high school. But to go back into the closet, those ones would probably be some of my favorite jerseys that I've ever had. So I might be rocking a 12U small, but hey, we'll make it work, man.
I was ready to say, if anyone catches us out and Mr. Austin is in the 12U size medium, already know we're just doing it for the history purposes only. No fashion statement included at all. No, I'm just joking with you. But so how do you feel about like these new rules too? That's another thing I wanted to ask you about. Like, the 7-inning double headers and now the minor leagues, it always has been, correct me if I'm wrong, the man on second base starting extra innings?
No, it was never. This is the first year too.
So they just really spun that out of like a bubblegum machine and just pulled that out and was like, you know what? This is how we're going to make the game go faster, right? After it gets to 10 innings, which is about 4 hours anyway, we're going to put someone on second base. There we go. How do you feel about stuff like that? Or do you not even care? You just enjoy the game. I just enjoy the game. I don't care if they were doing like handstands and flips and everything like that on the side. I don't care about none of that, man. Let's just play ball. Let's just grip it and rip it. Who can beat who, the pitcher or the batter? That's how I look at it. Everything else is just bells and whistles to me.
I'm right there with you. I think I like the ideas. Now the guy on second, whatever, like do it or don't do it. It speeds it up in extra innings. But then again, it's kind of fun to watch him grind a little bit. But from a player standpoint, I like the rules because a doubleheader with 7 innings is so much better than 9 innings. 2 9-inning games is a mental grind, a physical grind. You're tired, you're over it. The 7 inning aspect is really nice because it just makes things go by a little quicker for you, as well as, hey, you only get a couple at bats, let's make the most of them. Right, let's make the most of innings on the mound. You can kind of staff it a little bit. So I like some of those rules. Now, where it's headed with some of the electronic strike zones and things, I'm not a big fan of those. So I really hope those don't get incorporated. But I know a lot of guys in the systems who are into those rules, just because if you're a pitcher, right, you get the calls and hitter. It kind of works both ways, but I'd rather have the umpire and the human element. I think the human element is what makes the game. I mean, imagine we go watch the Yankees-Red Sox game and the Yankees end up winning in the bottom of the ninth on a bad call. We're talking about the bad call, juiced up, like, why is he doing this and that? And it creates some controversy, right? It creates a lot of spark in the game. Like, if he would have called him there or this or that, it just makes the game more human and a better element into it. So I'm not against the new rules or anything, the runner on second or the 7 inning doubleheader. I like those as a player standpoint, but as a fan, I mean, like you said, we're going to wait till the 10th inning to speed this thing up. What if we just sped it up from the first inning, man?
What are we doing, man? What are we doing? You know, I will say one thing though. My father, my father is a huge baseball fan from Pittsburgh too. And one of his favorite players was Lou Gehrig. So, I mean, now I get to hear it too. He goes off. He goes, oh, you know, when I talked to him about Cal Ripken, I lived in Baltimore for a long time in my life. I would always say Cal, the Iron Man. He said he never wore wool jerseys. He never rode on buses and trains and everything. I said, oh God, here we go. So when the 7 inning doubleheader came up, it was literally, I could have done a podcast on old men arguing and bickering, and my dad would have been right there front and center. So no, that's good though. It shows progression. So it is a good thing. It is a good thing for the kids. And to be honest, like a lot of people are seeing it now in basketball as well. You can't, you know, professional athletes like yourself, you guys aren't like robots, man. You know, you gotta be warmed up. You gotta be trained. I mean, you bring these people out. You, like you said, you're doing 9 inning doubleheaders, 18 inning games for a star ball player that, you know, if you pull him out of the game, the crowds and everyone is going to crucify you just because he's getting paid so much amount of money. Now he's hurt. He blows his leg out. Now he's not playing for 140 games. So I can definitely agree with you on that. That is definitely a good thing. Let me ask you this. You're still into baseball big, right? Watch games every day, everything like that. You're still into it. So who are you watching right now? Who is maybe not in the minor leagues, maybe someone that came up service duty, maybe under 2 years or whatever like that. Who's your eye on right now?
Sure. There's a couple aspects. There's one, team wise, I like the White Sox and I like the Padres. I think the Padres play with so much fun. They're not arrogant. They're not super cocky, right? I mean, they got some swag to them, but I think they just have so much fun. Like you see a guy like Machado go over there who in the media gets kind of portrayed as like the villain and the cocky guy, which whatever you want to say, it's up to you. But I see them together and just laughing, having fun, joking around, smiling. Like it's okay to smile on a baseball field sometimes. Like I love the energy that they play with. It's very attracting and it helps. It makes me want to watch the game. Right? I don't want to watch a different game. Player wise though, one of my good friends, actually one of my best friends, Aaron Bummer with the Chicago White Sox, he's a left-handed reliever in the bullpen, and he is just disgusting, man. But his story's awesome. I mean, he went through 2 years of not pitching in pro ball and then came back throwing harder than ever. And next thing you know, he's got a bigger contract being a reliever for the White Sox. And now they're winning games. They're in first place. They're moving forward. So watching a team like that with a guy like that who I truly look up to and I think is such an awesome guy, right? Just a humble, genuine person. It's been fun to watch him compete out there a little bit too. So I think watching some of the star young guys, Tatis is always fun, right? He's got the swag, he's got the glamour. But other than that, man, there's a lot of dudes out there right now. And this game is so young that it's just people are coming up out of the woodworks. Another guy that I like and played with a little bit, and I got to play with him when he was really young. I think he was 16 or 17 at the time, from the Bahamas, Jazz Chisholm with the Marlins.
Oh, yeah.
And Jazz, man, Jazz is like, great personality. You can tell the dude is a superstar from the very beginning. Like you just knew that kid was going to be special in the big leagues someday at some point. And to see him work through the minors and get up there and maintain that progress and maintain the growth and really figure it out a little more mentally, I believe, and work ethic wise, to see what he's doing now and to see how like awesome he's been doing as well and having fun. Dude, I like watching guys have fun. I don't like the big cockiness, boom, boom. I like the dudes who are just free, genuine, enjoy the game. That's why I really vibe with the Dominicans, the Venezuelans, the Puerto Ricans, because they have fun with the game, right? It's not like everything's going to come crashing down on you if the game ends. Like we have another game. And if you don't, you get to go live your life, right? It's more about life than anything. So watching them have fun and enjoy it, those are the guys that I like watching.
Hey, and not to lie, I recently moved to Florida. In Fort Myers. I'm right by the Twins and the Red Sox down here for spring training. But I have a season tickets to the Marlins. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Jazz, the way he just turns, kind of a little Joe Morganish, just the way that the way he turns on those turn twos, man, and things look pretty good. Look pretty good. Now, hold on. So let's go back to your boy, because I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm on a 2-game losing streak in my fantasy baseball. Yes, that's right, world. I play fantasy baseball because I'm worse than Pete Rose when it comes to gambling. Anyways, but what I'm saying is your boy from the White Sox? Did you just give us a sleeper pitching pick? Is that a sleeper pick right there? I just want to know, because now we're going into different segments and everything like that. You're just killing me right now. But that's great though, especially to see someone you came up with, you had fun with, you probably lost your keys with at some random bar with, and everything like that. And now he's just blowing people away. So that's definitely a great thing and a good thing. As for the Manny Machado part, he does definitely get a lot of bad press, man. And watching him in Baltimore, watching him interact with the young kids that came there, the fans, everything like that. And then, he doesn't hustle out of play and everything like that. Who am I to say, run, I don't want to get into all that. The old timers, they all got mad and everything like that about not hustling out, and they make too much and this, that, and the third and everything. Manny is a great guy. And San Diego does look like they have fun. And I cannot wait till I hit out next month. We're going from Roswell, New Mexico to San Diego. And I cannot wait to go see, I'm going to catch the last game of the series, Dodgers in San Diego. So that should be a good one. That's definitely dope. Hopefully I got enough time, stop by, maybe see you for a little bit, maybe have some lunch on the way too, baby. Let me look at this. I'm going to ask you about this if you heard this. So I'm not being disrespectful by looking down at my phone, but I want to pull this up so I don't misquote this. Have you ever heard of the Miracle League of Arizona? Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah.
That's great. Have you ever worked with them or anything like that? I'm just asking, curious. This is like an off the cuff question. It was just that when I was researching you some more, for some reason, they just came across and everything like that. And it seems like, so that's good. If you've seen them before, we don't even got to touch on that anymore, but that's definitely good. I definitely want to stop by to see them and you when I'm out there. Any big plans for MLU? You guys got anything, any big releases? You got any players showcasing, anything like that you would want to talk about? Any guys you want to give shout outs, props to, and everything like that?
Yeah, coming up. Well, one, the Miracle League's amazing, dude. And I haven't been to the Arizona one, but I've chatted with the guys, and I'll get you connected with them. Awesome people doing the right thing.
Yeah.
My brother's autistic, and he's struggled with that for a while, obviously. And getting him plugged in would be awesome too. So I think that's such an awesome thing what they're doing for athletes and just people in this world. But I think plug wise, like this summer, we're really looking to fill up our prospect camps. We got some really cool prospect showcases coming up here in Southern California. June 16, 17, July 27, 28, and then back in Phoenix, Arizona, August 14, 15. So those will be good. We've got a few youth camps as well, kind of rolling through. And how we approach the camp sector is we're going to use it as a time to impact the athletes through the mind, right? You're going to get your physical side, you're going to get your evaluations, you're going to do all your cool stuff, but we're going to give you a segment and a time to get into here and help you think a little differently. So it's more worth your time coming out for what you're going to get. And you can take something hopefully on with you for the rest of your career or even your rest of your life. So we've got a few of those coming up. We're going to kind of revamp the Leadership Academy online and being able to get more athletes in from all over the world. We actually have 2 guys from New York and 1 from Florida. So a couple East Coasters out there. And it's been a big blessing, man, to be able to see these athletes take what they're doing and take it into life, man. There's a couple guys that I'll give shout outs to. First and foremost, my partner, Ray Mack. Ray McIntyre, the dude's a beast, was just in college coaching at University of San Diego until August. And then once everything kind of hit with COVID, it was too tough financially to make it do. A lot of the college coaches, they don't have it as easy as we wish they could have it. And so didn't have the financial means down there, and presented a great opportunity for him to join the team, man. And ever since he's came on board, man, we've hit a massive upward trend, just really having that help. And he's my best friend. So that's been huge. And then overall, man, just really all the athletes that we get to work with. I mean, it's a blessing, man. Sometimes you wake up and you're tired or day sucks or something happens. But when you hear from them, some of the things that they're actually using that either you said or your partner said or somebody else has said that they've used and applied, you're like, man, these kids are listening. Like, you might not think they're listening. They might not always make eye contact, but they're listening and they're taking inventory of what you are saying. So beware of how you're speaking to people, man. And I think it's so powerful how you treat others. And if you have the impact that you want to have, or if you could have that impact, just be a good person and be genuine and treat people with love and respect. And most of the time, you're going to get things to come back your way. So just shout out to all the athletes, man. They're freaking awesome. They inspire us, right? They inspire us more than we probably inspire them.
You know what? The one thing that I've learned is the hardest thing for a competitive male to do is compliment another competitive male. So shout out to you for doing that, because you do that so effortlessly, and you can tell that, like you said, it's genuine and it's real. And I know that it reciprocates and it runs through, and it probably bleeds out to all the players, just like the gentleman that did for you, that you said the best thing that you could do is pay him back by just continuing his mission and continuing those words and everything like that. You know what I was just thinking when I was talking to you, man? We should try to set up something like an MLU versus Perfect Game down here, man. Because the Perfect Game is right down here, and I think that might be something we could talk about later on. But needless, yeah, I mean, I think that would be good. Let's let the boys play, man. Bring them down, bring them to Florida. There's some good seafood down here. There's not really good crabs or anything like that, but the seafood is really good down here, and we can make some things happen. So I'm gonna end it with this. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, man. And I know you will. I know you don't have to hear it from everyone, but there's a lot of people watching you that you are inspiring that you don't even know. Maybe not as many that would follow you if you posted a picture in that 12U jersey, but I'm just joking with you. But I just want you to keep on doing your thing. I'm going to link with you after this. I definitely want to make sure we get some of those pre-order books sent out to Maryland. I want to get one myself, and just keep doing what you're doing, man. We just want to congratulate you and how you took some things that might send someone else into a bad spiral, which it did send you in a bad spiral, but you grabbed yourself up by the back of the neck and you helped be an inspiration in other people's lives. And that's the most important thing. Even this is the Real Jersey King podcast, but that's just the bait and the hook, baby. Everyone's got materialistic things, but these, lessons and words are things that last a lifetime. So, Mr. Austin Byler, once again, from the Real Jersey King podcast, we would like to say thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for speaking. And I do definitely want to bring you on with Doc V so we can talk about mental illness, because that is a huge thing, man. A lot of people don't know just what a kind word can say to do for someone and lift their spirits. And then when you lift their spirits, you don't know how many people they can go lift their spirits and everything like that. So once again, I know I hit this applause button so many times, but I feel with you, I can't even hit it enough. So once again, can you give us your Twitter, your Instagram, everything like that, so people can follow you, so people can bug you to see your 12U jersey as well? Now you got me wanting to break the 12U jersey. I know I got a picture of it. I'm probably going to post it inside of this day while I'm doing it. But go ahead, give us all your plugs and all your social media, everything like that. And then we're going to wrap this thing up, boss.
I appreciate it, Bullet. I think for social media wise, Austin Byler on all platforms. I think Twitter might be Austin Byler 14, but just type in Austin Byler, it should pop up. And then on Instagram, Twitter, Major League University is our handle. I think Twitter might be Major University. There was didn't let us do the league, so we might have to send in a message to Twitter. But we got Major League University or Austin Byler, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the social media platforms. We're getting our podcast revamped coming up soon. I'm moving into a new place in about a month, and we're going to kind of revamp that whole deal as we get rolling and kind of get some more content out there as well at majorleagueuniversity.com. But Bull Brack, man, I appreciate you bringing me on here. The vibes are epic, dude. The energy's high, and I love this. It makes me better, right? So this was an honor, man. I love what you're doing. Those cards in the background are nasty. I love it. And the jerseys are clean, man, crispy clean. I need to give me one of those. My brother's got a Roberto Clemente, man. He rocks that thing all the time. And I'm jealous because I don't have one yet. So I gotta go buy one.
Don't worry, we're gonna get something happen, man. I gotta talk to my people in Mitchell and Ness, man. Get you hooked up, get you right, man. Get you right. And definitely, like I said, when I come out in June, man, I might have a little surprise and gift for you as well. So that's a great thing. We're definitely gonna be linking up again. I'm definitely gonna bogart my way onto your podcast and everything like that. So there's got to be no problem with that. And like I said, once again, thank you for your time. God bless, and we'll see you soon. Once again. Give me 1 second real quick. Let me go ahead and